Money is an important aspect of our lives, and the Bible has much to say about how we should manage it. The teachings of the Bible on money can be grouped into three categories: stewardship, generosity, and contentment. The first lesson about money in the Bible is stewardship. In Matthew 25:14-30, Jesus tells the parable of the talents. A master gives 3 servants different amounts of money and goes away on a trip. When he returns, he rewards the 2 servants who invested their money wisely, but punishes the one who buried his money in the ground. This parable teaches that we are stewards of the money God has entrusted to us. We are expected to use it wisely and invest it for the benefit of others. Another key lesson about stewardship is found in Proverbs 27:23-24. Be sure you know the condition of your flocks, give careful attention to your herds, for riches do not endure forever, and a crown is not secure for all generations. This verse teaches us the importance of managing our finances wisely and being aware of our financial situation. We must be good stewards of what we have been given and prepare for the future. The second lesson about money in the Bible is generosity. In Luke 6:38, Jesus says, "Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together and running over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you." This verse teaches us that we should be generous with our money, giving freely to others. When we give generously, God promises to bless us in return. Another example of generosity is found in 2 Corinthians 8:1-5, where Paul commends the Macedonian churches for their generosity. Despite their own poverty, they gave generously to help other churches. This passage teaches us that generosity is not dependent on our wealth, but on our willingness to give. The third lesson about money in the Bible is contentment. In Philippians 4:11-13, Paul writes, "I have learned to be content whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do all this through Him who gives me strength." This passage teaches us that contentment does not come from wealth or material possessions, but from our relationship with God. Another example of contentment is found in 1 Timothy 6:6-10, "But godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into the world, and we can take nothing out of it. But if we have food and clothing, we will be content with that." Those who want to get rich fall into temptation and a trap and into many foolish and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction. For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. Some people, eager for money, have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves with many griefs. This passage teaches us that we should be content with what we have and not be driven by the desire for wealth. Furthermore, the Bible also teaches us about the dangers of the love of money. In 1 Timothy 6:10, it says, "For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil." This verse warns us about the dangers of making money our top priority and pursuing it at all costs. When we love money more than we love God and others, we can easily fall into the trap of greed, dishonesty, and exploitation. Additionally, the Bible emphasizes the importance of giving to the poor and helping those in need. In Deuteronomy 15:11, it says, "There will always be poor people in the land. Therefore, I command you to be open-handed toward your fellow Israelites who are poor and needy in your land." This verse teaches us that God cares for the poor and expects us to care for them as well. Throughout the Bible, there are many examples of God's people giving generously to help those in need, such as Ruth caring for her mother-in-law Naomi or the early Christians sharing their possessions with one another. Moreover, the Bible also teaches us about the dangers of debt. In Proverbs 22:7, it says, "The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender." This verse warns us about the dangers of borrowing money and becoming enslaved to debt. When we accumulate debt, we give up our freedom to make our own financial decisions and become beholden to our creditors. Instead, the Bible encourages us to live within our means and avoid debt whenever possible. Overall, the Bible provides us with timeless wisdom on how to manage our money and live a life of financial stewardship, generosity, and contentment. By following these teachings, we can experience financial freedom, security, and blessings in our lives. You're probably familiar with the famous finance book titled The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason. Babylonian money wisdom is derived from the ancient civilization of Babylon, which was known for its advanced financial practices and wealth. The Babylonians developed a system of money management and investing that is still relevant today and has influenced modern financial practices. One of the key principles of Babylonian money wisdom is to live below your means and save for the future. The Babylonians believed in the importance of setting aside a portion of your income each month for emergencies and long-term goals. They also emphasized the value of frugality and avoiding unnecessary expenses. Another principle of Babylonian money wisdom is to diversify your investments. The Babylonians believed in spreading their wealth across multiple assets, such as real estate, commodities, and businesses. This helped them to mitigate risk and increase their chances of long-term financial success. The Babylonians also placed a high value on financial education and believed in the importance of learning about money management and investing. They believe that by investing in oneself, you could increase your earning potential and make better financial decisions. The book of Proverbs, found in the Bible, contains a wealth of wisdom on various topics, including finance and money management. Here are some of the key financial money lessons taught in the book of Proverbs. Diligence leads to prosperity. Proverbs emphasizes the importance of hard work and perseverance. Diligent work leads to wealth, while laziness leads to poverty. Live within your means. Proverbs encourages people to be content with what they have and to avoid debt. Living within one's means and avoiding debt allows one to have financial stability and security. Be generous. Proverbs teaches that giving to others brings blessings and abundance. Generosity is seen as a key virtue in managing one's finances. Avoid greed and dishonesty. Proverbs warns against the dangers of greed and dishonesty. Dishonesty may bring temporary gain, but it ultimately leads to ruin. Seek wise counsel. Proverbs emphasizes the importance of seeking advice from wise and experienced people. This applies to financial decisions as well as other areas of life. Plan ahead. Proverbs encourages people to plan for the future and to be prepared for unexpected events. Saving money and investing wisely can help one achieve financial security and stability. The Richest Man Who Ever Lived by Steve K. Scott is a book that explores the life and wisdom of King Solomon, known as the wealthiest and wisest man who ever lived. The book examines Solomon's principles for financial success and shows how they are still relevant and valuable today. Scott explores Solomon's teachings on topics such as business, investing, leadership, time management, and personal finance. Through anecdotes and examples from Solomon's life, Scott illustrates how the king's wisdom can be applied to modern-day financial situations. The book emphasizes the importance of seeking wisdom and knowledge in all aspects of life, including finances. It also highlights the value of hard work, perseverance, and patience in achieving financial success. Overall, the book of Proverbs teaches that financial wisdom is rooted in principles of hard work, contentment, generosity, honesty, and wise planning. These principles can guide individuals in managing their finances in a way that brings long-term stability, security, and prosperity. In conclusion, the Bible has much to teach us about money. We should be good stewards of what we have been given, investing it wisely and preparing for the future. We should also be generous with our money, giving freely to others. And we should find contentment in our relationship with God, rather than in material possessions or wealth. By following these principles, we can manage our finances in a way that brings glory to God and benefits others.